Now we want to look into the global industry analysis. You can see the form is already populated, but when you do yours, the form completed and data confirmed, there will be, both of them will be red because the app doesn't complete the industry analysis. We don't have that data as yet of different sectors in terms of consumption globally. But what a global analysis is basically you look at your sector that you are targeting and you decide, you do your research to determine globally how much is consumed, how much is produced. So because when you do industry analysis, you start from the top. You start global, you look at continental, you look at the country, you look at the province, you look at the district, you look at municipality, and you look at the local area that you are operating. So depending on the type of business that you are operating in, global consumption might be important or might not be important, depending on different sector. So in terms of global analysis, what you look at the consumption in terms of the units or the quantities that are consumed globally in terms of your sector. And you also look at the supply. How many quantities are supplied? Sometimes that will help you gauge in terms of if there is a shortage or oversupply of the product that you are going into globally. So now, many businesses might not have the global industry analysis might not be important. But if it's important to your sector, then you're going to click on create, then you create your global sector. So the sector, in terms of now, okay, mine is going to be no, because the global sector in terms of trading is not necessarily relevant when somebody is assessing this business plan. But for yours, it might be important. So if it's important, then, and you have data, that's the important part, and you have data on the industry, then you click yes. Then when you click yes, then the sector will be the sector that you have selected from your operation. And then unit of measure, depending on what you're offering. If you are consulting, it will be hours. If you are providing transport, it will be kilometers. If you're providing things that are weighed in tons, it will be tons. Or if you're providing number of items, you use units. So now in this case, let's say it's hours. Then you need to know how many hours of trainings are consumed globally. Then I'll put in those hours if I had the data. And then how many hours are supplied, how many hours are available. Then you put the number. In terms of consumption, there's units, and then the second one is called it's the supply. So comparing how many hours are consumed and how many hours are supplied. Is there a gap in the market globally? Then you put the economic value. Let's say the education industry, more especially the ones that I'm focusing on in the corporate, more especially the finance sector. I think it's about, I don't know what, I think $10 billion or something like that, if I can't remember correctly. So you put in the figure of the consumption and the supply value. How much is the value? How many people are supplying in terms of value of your in the training space? Then you confirm where you source the data. Where did you get that data? Because it's important. You don't put thumbs up figures there. So you confirm where you source the data, then you will confirm at the end. But for this one now, I don't have data, so I can't say yes. So I say no. If you say no, you can see the form hides all the fields in between, and this will not be reflected in your business plan. So when it hides this, it will also hide it in your business plan. So in your business plan, you're not going to have global industry analysis. So, and then you click confirm, and then you create it. So it has created it, but obviously created, but that data, you don't have data. So it will just create this transaction, but it wouldn't show in your business plan. So this one is just to make sure that you looked at it, you have decided as an entrepreneur to say, I don't have data on global consumption. It's not important for my sector. then it's not going to include it. And then when you go back, then we're going to see now the global industry analysis is blue. The form is completed, the data is confirmed. But as I've said, I don't have global data, so I've decided to choose no on that line to say no data. Then the form is completed, then my business plan will be updated accordingly.